from your parents and you never got it. So you are going out at 50 still looking for that because you never got it at 5.
Correct.
Yeah.
You may not have got it at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 15,
Yeah.
25, wedding dates, having your own child. Doesn't sound like I'm speaking from experience.
Right,
here, does
correct,
it,
correct.
You may have
Yeah.
gone your entire life
Yeah.
and never received one sentence, just one sentence that you have worth.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you may find that because you've been conditioned this way, it's going to be very hard to break it. So let's say, though, you ask the question, what happens when you do break it?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Well, I want to explain to you, if you were conditioned into being kind from
Okay.
someone that was not healthy,
Right.
okay?
Correct. Okay.
You may have experienced a relationship that's called the bully-victim relationship. The bully-victim relationship. So
Okay.
let me explain that.
Yes.
You may have had someone that constantly bullied you into being kind for them. It may have been they've set it up that I can't do it myself. I need you to help me. It's your responsibility. There's nobody else. There'll be lots of sentences. It may not be abusive bullying, but it will definitely be set up in a way that you felt you had no other option except to be kind to them. Okay?
Okay.
You continue to do this, and you continue to do it. And one day you decide, F this, I don't want to do this anymore. And you speak up. And you say, stop it. I've been giving you this, and this. I need this to stop. Your behavior is poor, right?
Right.
They will flip and become the victim and start crying. And say, oh gosh, but I'm just so pitiful. I don't have anybody else. My life is so hard. Guess what? They found a new way to tug at your kindness. Now you feel like crap. So you have to continue being kind. So they've either got you by bullying you in some manipulation way to be kind,
Okay.
or they will become the victim again, which means you have to continue being kind. So you are in a vicious cycle
Wow.
of them keeping you locked in to being kind.
It's like a kindness black hole vortex. It's like they're never going to be filled.
Oh, God, right.
With your kindness
Called a
or by
hungry ghost.
receiving. Yeah.
Hungry
yeah.
ghosts, meaning they have a giant mouth that they eat, small little throat, and a big ass belly.
Yeah.
So no matter how much you're feeding them, it can't get down through that little throat to their belly. They're a monster that's never full. And
Yes.
they will try so many different various ways to keep you still kind.
Wow.
So what do you do?
Yeah. What do you
What do
do?
you do?
What do you do?
Well, when you decide to stop, you're going to have to sit with some uncomfortable feelings.
Okay.
You are probably going to
Okay.
have to sit with some feelings of guilt. You're probably going to have to sit with feelings of disappointment. You're probably going to have to sit in some feelings of reality, meaning you had an imaginary end result that you thought was going to happen, and you're starting to realize that's never going to happen.
Okay.
So you may have to sit with that.
Okay.
So when you break the cycle, there is going to be a period that you're going to have to become strong and replace that hole inside of you by yourself.
So glad you brought that point up. So sitting in uncomfortableness, and I know in yoga we talk about that all the time, being able to sit in the uncomfortableness and breathe through and know that you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
So, but when you have someone out there, this is their first time, this podcast hit them in the way that they realize now this is where their life is and they're willing to change it. Can you talk a little bit about, you gave some of the feelings that we would have sitting in that uncomfortableness, but can you talk about that space in and of itself?
Oh, yeah. I'm glad you pointed that out. Okay. So I like to describe it this way. You cannot control a storm, but you can control your internal calmness.
Wow.
So let's explore that a little bit.
Yes.
When we are kind people or fixers, we will spend a lifetime trying to control the storms. I spent pretty much my entire front end of my adulthood trying to control the storm of my parents' unhappiness, my parents' sadness, my parents' disappointments, my parents' money problems, their poverty. I continued on trying to do this probably through my first marriage.
Okay.
I was going to control the storm. How was I going to do that? Well, I was going to be a straight A student. I was going to be very fit. I was going to be kind, Sharita. I was going to make sure that everybody that met me would tell my parents how amazing I was. Right?
Right.
I was going to be a perfect worker. So if my parents ever met my coworkers or my boss, they would hear how amazing I was. So I was trying to control the storm.
Yes.
Guess what happened?
What happened?
I got injured. Beat the fuck up.
You're in a hailstorm.
Almost lost a leg, an arm, okay? It took me a long time to realize I'm trying to control the storm. That's silly.
Yeah.
But what I can do is learn new techniques how to control my calmness. So stop worrying about what's going on in the outside world
Yeah.
and control my calmness. So I had to learn how to sit, lift my tongue to the roof of my mouth, relax my eyes and my jaw, taste my breath,
Yeah.
and realize I'm okay inside. I'm calm, and this is not my responsibility.
And you know, this makes me think back on our podcast, Ride a Horse, Train a Human.
Oh, it's
how we
hand
have
in
to
hand.
train ourselves.
Yes.
So yeah, that's awesome.
I can say it even funnier. I think about it a lot of times like you're in a grocery store and you're walking around and you see somebody on the aisle and they knocked down a whole thing of cans, okay, and they're rolling all over the ground. And so
Yeah.
you run over there and you're trying to help them and you're like, oh, don't worry, I'll help you, I'll help you, I'll help you.
Yeah.
And then over the loudspeaker you hear God. Sharita. And you're like, what? Sharita, this is God. I need you to get off of aisle 7. And you're like, but I'm helping them. No, Sharita, you're not. You're actually interfering. Can you please get off of aisle
my
7
gosh,
and go
yes.
back to aisle 11? Because you got some shit to deal with on aisle 11.
Yes.
And you are so busy trying to help this person on aisle 7. I can't teach them anything. Get off aisle 7.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think about it that way. Stop trying to fix the storm. Instead, work on restoring your calmness.
Yes.
That's very important. That
So
was
important.
something I would say.
Yes.
The next thing I would say, this is very tangible, is to make a list, a real list. Take out paper and pencil.
Yeah. Go old school.
Old school.
Yeah.
And you have 3 tiers.
Okay.
You have the center tier is called your core people. Brene Brown says something great. I heard her say when we say, I don't care what people think. And she says, you should care about what some people think.
Correct.
Not everybody.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your core may only be like 1 to 3 people. It's not a lot in your core.
No.
Your core should be people that you aspire to be, or they equally live like you.
Okay.
Okay? So you're going to look at their value systems. You're going to look at how they choose to live their life. And if you're not there, that's okay. You could pick people that you aspire to be.
Yes.
Okay? So
Okay.
it could be people already, or this is where I desire.
Right.
These are people that you value their opinion.
Okay.
When you're having a difficult situation, they're going to guide you right. I call them, they're the people with the map and the flashlights.
Yes.
If I'm out lost, I'm not going to ask the dipshits down the hole with me. I'm going to look for the person who's got the flashlight and the map.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, so you need to know who those people are in your life.
Correct. Yeah.
The next group are called your pizza friends.
Okay.
They're people you got pizza and beer with. Mm-hmm. You can talk.
Yeah.
You can exchange some ideas and opinions, but you don't put your problem out there and then get everybody's opinion on that. That's
yes,
chaos.
it's 100% chaos. And people do that on social media. That's just a sidebar. I don't understand how you're putting your most personal shit out there on social media, but that's just me. But go ahead.
Oh my God, not only on social media, they'll do it with like 16 friends.
Yeah.
And get 16 different pieces of advice and then tell each friend what other friend gave them of advice.
Yeah.
So there's so much confusion on what to do.
Leaving them more confused when they come back to you and say, what do you think?
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So we don't put a lot of value. Pizza friends are just people to have fun with. And
Yes.
we need them. We have pizza, we have beer, they're great people, we enjoy them.
Yes.
Then the third tier is called your community.
Okay.
That's people, you may not know their names, but you like them. They're part of your churches, your yoga studios, your office.
Yeah.
We don't tell them our problems. We don't share openly everything that's going on.
Correct.
They're just the community.
Yes.
Right? So we don't have to test out our kindness dysfunction with them.
Okay. Okay.
or a kindness disorder with them. Okay.
Yes.
When we start to examine who belongs in our core, what we may find is
Yeah.
the people that we are exhausting our kindness to don't even belong in our core.
Can you put a star beside that one? That is so true.
Yeah.
So true. You can't give everything to everybody because
Yeah.
not everybody has earned that right
No.
to get your everything.
No, they're
Yeah.
not even someone you respect to be your core.
Yeah.
And you're giving all your kindness to them, and they're not even living their life the way you would live your life.
Yeah.
So no wonder they're taking from you. They're taking from you to get money or energy to misuse in some effed up way that you wouldn't even use it, but yet you keep giving it to them.
Yeah. So just so I'm clear, kindness, giving all your kindness and cookies are two different things. I'm going back to casually dating, but there's two different things. But you're absolutely right in being serious. You cannot give all of your kindness to a lot of people because they don't know how to respect that and value that and cherish that. Kindness is something that should be cherished.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
If I believe that finances should go to your children, and I believe that if you have some extra income, it should go to your children. But let's say my sister, which is it's not true because both of my sisters are part of my core. So I'm going to be honest there, and I do value them. But I'm going to pretend, for sakes of this podcast, you have a sibling that doesn't believe that.
Okay.
You have a sibling that believes when you have extra money, you should go blow it on drugs or casinos or, I don't know, fancy purses and stuff. And they're always getting themselves in predicament. So they're always asking you for money, right?
Yeah.
And you keep giving it because you're kind. Here's the thing. They don't belong in your core because they don't live the life the same way you do.
Right.
They don't put a value system on the same things you put value system on.
Okay.
So, you can judge them, you can be passive aggressive about it, but wouldn't it be much easier if you've determined that my kindness energy goes to my core?
Yes.
And then my next level goes to my pizza, and then my community is just me not just being a good person in the world.
I absolutely love that. 3 easy steps.
Yeah.
To truly help you, to actually have a better life.
Oh, God, yes.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. I said I'd mention a little bit about narcissists because I think a lot of people are interested in that. It's a big catchphrase. I think all of us can have a little narcissist tendencies. Come on. Sometimes you read that and you think, oh, my God, am I a narcissist?
True. Yeah.
Now, narcissism or the disorder, the actual disorder of it, will have some characteristics. And how you will know that you're in one of those relationships is going to be that bully victim. Looking at that and noticing, am I continuing this because of the bully victim? Am I bullied? And then when I speak up, do they become a victim? Then I start feeling sorry for them, so I even do more.
Okay.
Or they may do what's called gaslighting. And gaslighting is when you tell them something and they completely deny it even happened.
Okay.
They may say, I don't remember that.
Okay.
Right? So they're going to diminish your thoughts. Or you may be experiencing what's called blame shifting.
Okay.
Where immediately you tell what you believe has happened, right? You confront them and they switch it back to where you end up having to apologize.
So, okay.
Now, that was big. That was a lot of information right there.
Yeah. Can we do a podcast? When we're having conversations, you're just hitting on so many things that I think we just need to spend just a podcast on alone, because everything you just said in my head as I'm processing, it's like check, 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 whether it's something that's come from me or something that's come from somebody that I've been in a relationship with. So I really would love to just talk about those 3 things you said, because man, it's huge. Because you hear those words, gaslighting. I've heard that, and I've heard, of course, narcissism. But I would love to truly define what those are and how to apply them. And
we should do a podcast just on that.
Yeah.
Now, if we take a little quick lesson for this podcast.
Yes.
And the easiest thing to do about this, and the be kind but not to all, is that we can examine other people in our life to determine if they're narcissist or not, or determine if you are.
Yeah.
You may find out you are.
Absolutely.
But here's the thing. You wouldn't be listening to this or agree to it if you were a narcissist. Don't worry. So if you ever